Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kings of Media, to our first episode of the podcast, video one. Because last time we tried this, it didn't work well. That's my fault. But today we are going to be doing a kind of talk on media itself and kind of delve into more ideas of comfort media or where media is going in general. We'll see where this goes. But we have our friends from the D&D podcast. So we have our lovely friend Gavin.
Hello.
We have our wild card Wesley.
Yo.
And me, Eli. Hello. So I guess we can kind of just jump into the discussion or the topic of what is media, really. So, floor.
Would it technically just be anything like written or recorded kind of thing?
In my opinion, media is something that we consume for entertainment. So, like board games, even I could consider a form of media because it's entertaining us, and it's a way that people also can express themselves is through board games and stuff. So, in my opinion, that's media.
All right. What does the definition say?
So just going off of the interweb, from Oxford Dictionary, it says the main means of mass communication, broadcasting, publishing, and the internet regarded collectively. So
it's not technically just entertainment. It's just like anything broadcasting, publishing, and the internet.
So,
not what we think.
yeah, pretty much not what we think.
So board games wouldn't fall underneath that.
It wouldn't fall under media. Interesting.
Well, there's media, and then I think because there's that media, so wouldn't there be entertainment media? So wouldn't that encapsulate what we were thinking media means?
I think what we're learning very, very quickly, I might add, is that there are lots of definitions to media and lots of different forms and types of media.
Very true.
So an entertainment media is film, print, radio, and television. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, then. I would say crocheting is not a form of media, then.
It's not a media, it's like a hobby.
Yeah. I guess that would separate something like board games. It would be, board games is more of a hobby than it is a medium for expression or communication.
I don't know. I do a lot of expression and communication when I'm playing board games, especially when I'm losing. When I'm losing, I'm bringing the top player down with me, and they don't. So something bad always happens at that point.
Yeah,
all right. Going off of this, what kind of media would you consume if you're or for comfort, huh? Or like you just casual?
Casually media?
Yes.
There's lots of different things, I guess. Music is a big one.
I love doing videos, just YouTube. Mostly how-to videos. Like I love to be able to do anything and everything. And so I just like to watch like some guy in India like repairing batteries, like restoring a lead battery. And it's like a time lapse or something like that.
So you said the guy in India. My thought went to the guy making like the pool in India.
Yeah.
You know that video?
Underground.
Yeah, the underground. Like,
the guys are like in their underwear practically just digging in dirt.
That's what I was going to bring up.
The video makes no sense, but it is entertaining.
I just watched like that battery video like yesterday. So that's why it's in my mind. But anything like I like any type of subject and video format that like I enjoy, like video games, humor, how to, but like in short, so like a YouTube short, Instagram reel thing like that. Those things are super easy to just consume really fast, which is really bad at the same time. Because I'm like scrolling, I'm like, man, okay, I should end my break and like finish cleaning the house or something. It's been like 2 hours later. I'm like, holy freak!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm gonna take a quick little 5-minute break, and it seems like you're there for 2 minutes.
Yeah, because they're like,
and you're there for 2 hours.
Because they're like 30 seconds a piece, and you watch like 30 of them. That's already 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get you. At work, every time anyone goes onto a 10-minute break, you just see everyone on the break table on their phones. No one's really talking to each other. They're just scrolling, watching TikToks and videos and everything. It's just, that's the entertainment. That's the media we got. Because they're just so quick and entertaining.
Mm-hmm. It's
nice.
very true. I mean, even today at work, I get 2 10-minute breaks and then a 30-minute lunch break. And it's so easy to just pull your phone and go to Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and look at those reels or the shorts and things like that. And it's just so easy to do.
It's literal psychological warfare, dude. Like, it's taking advantage over your weaknesses in your brain. Like, when I'm tired and I do that, I'm on there for a while.
Yeah.
Or I won't even be looking for anything. I'm just sitting there like, I want to see something, but there's nothing here I want to see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I consumed all the media.
Do the same thing. Come back from work or something, but whenever I go to bed, I know that I'm lying in bed and maybe it's half an hour or an hour of YouTube or TikTok or something before I actually go to bed. It's just ingrained in me at this point now, and it's really bad. It's like, okay, time to go to bed. All right, TikTok.
You go to bed an hour earlier, so you can sit there and scroll TikTok in your bed. Maybe get to bed on time.
It's like, all right, it's 9 o'clock, time to lie in bed. It's like, I'm too tired to finish this movie. Makes no sense to me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I unironically don't listen to music just for comfort at all. I only listen to it for to get in the mood for something. So if you're working out, and I don't even listen to music when I work out either. And so I love music because it sounds sweet and it can set the mood for something, whatever you may need it for. But I just don't listen to it for some reason. Which is weird.
I'm honestly the exact opposite. If
Yeah.
I'm not listening to music, it's because I'm doing something really important that I super need to be all there for. And normally that involves communicating with other people. If I don't have to be sitting there talking with someone,
There's music going on.
There's always going to be music. Especially because I have hearing aids and so they work just like headphones. So people just walk up to me and hold on, I have to pause music and be like, okay, now you can talk. Because it's just always going for me. So anything metal, country, rap, I'll listen to it all. So
Right on.
That's fair.
What kind of media do you consume?
Well, you know me. I love movies and TV shows.
Okay.
I find a good movie, I find a good TV show, I'm wrapped in it. I try not to binge it. I don't like binging shows just because you don't get to enjoy it. I am a firm lover of the week by week release because that way you just get to enjoy a series so much more versus one season full release, boom, binged, gone, and then the whole hype is gone. So a good movie comes out, I'm on top of it. A good show comes out, I'm already there. So that's where I go. But I also am the same way with music, where if I'm working on something, there's music or there's a TV show on. I have to have something else stimulating me to keep. I need 2 things going at once, and it's bad. I have bad habits.
That might be called ADHD. I don't know, but
we knew this for a long time.
Undiagnosed.
We've been new. Okay, guys, we knew I have ADHD, ADD, all the D's. Come on.
If you say so. If you say so.
And so that's the thing. I'm almost the exact opposite when it comes to TV shows or movies. I hate it when it's I gotta wait a week till the next episode. I just want to watch it all at once. I'm horrible when I find a new TV show or an anime or something and it's already been all released. I'll watch it in a 24-hour period because it's I can't stop once I've started.
So I want to be mad about waiting a week to week basis if the videos weren't fillers. Naruto, bro. If I had to wait every week for all 500 or 300 of those filler episodes, bro, I just wait and just come back in 6 months and binge all the fillers and then I'll be on my way again.
Yeah, because you'll get 2 actual episodes every 6 months and then the rest of it
exactly
is filler.
Exactly.
That's
so
fair.
that would make me upset. But with a lot of these newer shows, like My Hero or
There's not a lot of
or
filler.
Demon Slayer. Yeah, there's not a ton of filler, and so the week by week thing is not as bad. It's just when, like you said, there's lots of filler, it can kind of drag it out and make it seem way long.
Especially when the filler episode's only 20 minutes or sometimes 15.
Doesn't know.
I want to strangle someone when it's like that.
I need my
I'm like
head
disappointed.
to leave.
I'm literally disappointed. I'm like, no, I have to wait a week just
I gotta wait a week
to see if it's filler again or not.
But that's the fun part, because then you're just like, I need to wait a week to see if this is going to happen. If they're going to continue talking about this.
If it's good, yes, absolutely.
If it's good,
I'm okay with it.
But even then, it gives you a conversation with other people. Because then you can talk and be like, hey, last week's episode was straight filler and I hated it. So I hope next week this happens instead. And then you have a conversation talking about the show instead of, hey, that whole season, maybe you'll talk about it here and there. And then you kind of miss beats. But if it's like week by week, then you get to flesh it out more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I come from. Is like it gives you more to talk about it. Because I remember when what is it called? Stranger Things first came out on Netflix. It was being talked about for like a solid 3 months, maybe.
Everybody was talking about it, and then they're like,
gone.
if you said something like, "No, shut up, spoilers," and then like, yeah,
And then after a certain time, nobody was talking about it. Sure, it come up here and there. It's like, yeah, I've seen it. Maybe I'll watch it. There's too much hype. But then afterwards, you have the whole season there, and it's gone. You're done.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I'm trying to watch Stranger Things right now because I've never seen it.
Ooh.
I
like the first season.
I like
That's
the
the
first
only one
season.
I've seen,
I haven't
too.
watched season 4 yet. Don't kill me.
I'm on episode 3 right now. I think I just finished episode 3.
Season 1?
Season 1.
Okay.
So I'm like just starting to get into it, and so it's like I can like see the reason why there's a ton of hype around it, why people didn't want spoilers, and like why. So like I can kind of understand it, like understand that perspective of like the week by week release is good because it gives people time to actually see it, and then people can talk about it and keep up that hype train. Because if everyone like binges the entire thing, the entire season, and everyone's like, I haven't seen it yet, don't talk about it, it's just going to turn into no one's talking about it. And so it just dies.
It just died.
It dies.
So so this is kind of off topic, back to like the whole comfort media thing. Like,
Yes.
I don't
Yeah, topic.
like. Sorry, so that the whole D thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
1, 2. So
Back to Dick Nuts.
I don't like to really consume media. Like, I kind of like to be productive in a sense. Not like,
Shots.
yeah, you guys.
You know, I'm just gonna.
Get out.
It's like
You don't like me. You're not a king of media. Get out of here.
I destroy the media. No, I like to like create crap. Like, for some reason, I like to create things or clean something or like organize something for some reason. I guess I'm OCD probably, but like I could bust out like something creative, like either on the computer out of wood, just like in an hour, like super fast. Because like, especially like how you're saying, like if I need to focus, I don't listen to anything. If I don't listen to anything, I go into like hyper focus mode. I'm just, and I just like go extra fast somehow, and time just travels. So interesting.
That's actually super cool. It's more of like you like to express yourself through different forms of media instead of like
Consuming it.
consuming it.
Well, yeah, it's like after you scroll through all those reels, you're just like, man, I hate this.
Wasted time.
I don't like. I want to like, and then I think about all these things I either want to do or like I need to do, and so I'll be like, okay, to be productive, I just can't be near any of these things, and so I just have to like put down my phone and do something, because if I don't, I won't be able to put all my attention on like say the TV series and appreciate it and be like, oh look, I saw that in the background and like that's in the next season or some crap like that. Or like with a book, and like I can't sit there and just read it. I have to sit there and read it. I can't just like read it and drive at the same time. Pretty much.
That's how I used to be with certain things like Critical Role. I used to like have to sit down and I have to watch every single episode because I felt like I was going to miss something. Then I got into a habit of like, oh, I can like be up and doing stuff and still listening. Especially if I was just like walking to and from school, or if I was like driving or something like that.
Exactly.
Critical Role is one of those things that I can like put on now and just kind of like listen to, but like not focus on, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
That's what I would do. Like if I had to do something, but I didn't want to just sit in silence.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had a janitor job, and I would just stand around for 2 hours vacuuming this carpet. And I was like, this is boring as freak. And so I would literally just play my favorite, like, D&D, like podcast, and I would just listen to that. That's, like, one of the only ways I do something like that is, like, I don't have to I can mindlessly, like, do whatever I'm doing because it's not really important. So I actually focus on some sort of media because it takes literally zero effort to, like, perform the action.
Mm-hmm.
You interest me. The thinking of and everything's like, media? Nah. I'm a hyper-focused man. Me? Nah, I'm not about that.
I have to wake him up in the morning. Usually 11. I'd be like, "Hey, Eli, are we gonna do this thing today?" And he's just like, "What?"
Here's the thing.
I just got up. I was like,
here's the thing.
What?
He calls me in the morning when he knows I work the night shift. I get home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we just discussed that I spend 30
Actually,
to
be
minutes
fair,
an
you
hour.
never tell me that. Just barely you started doing that because you're like, I'm working the night shift. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, I just started telling him. But I spend 30 minutes to an hour when I get back home watching videos, and then I go to sleep. So really, it's 3 to 4 in the morning. Go to bed. Maybe he calls me at like 6 in the morning. Like,
Not
my
6.
guy.
It's usually 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Same thing.
3 to 4 hours of sleep, I would also be grumpy.
Then I wake up, I'm just like, what do you want?
And then I start crap talking him anyway. Anyways.
Yeah, and then he does that. It was terrible because one of our sessions that we did this week was an earlier session, and I was like, oh crap, I have to wake up, I have to shower, I have to get everything set up. They're going to be here by this time, and why did we pick this time? And I just worked the night shift too, so
It was awesome.
I'm tired. So I warned him, like, if I'm grumpy, if anything happens, just know it's because of the night shift. But nothing bad happened, so we're good. Always blame the night shift. But back to, again, we get off topic very quickly and easily.
Oh, yes.
It's amazing. I love it.
So D&D.
Yeah, OCD, ADHD, ADD.
Yeah.
Triple
Got them
D.
all right here.
Yeah, it's all right here, all lined up.
That's what we should call this podcast, the Triple D.
Distraction deficit disorder or some crap like that.
Alrighty. Okay, let's focus up, you guys. Let's go.
Try to focus. Maybe we
All
have
right.
a good focus.
Yeah.
But on to that. What is, I think, comfort media for some of us? Things that we like to watch, listen, play, or whatever. So we kind of already discussed that. Board games don't count as media.
Mm-hmm.
But video games,
Oh, yes.
music, TV shows, movies, what other?
Did we say books already?
I mentioned them.
Yeah, I think books, yeah.
Magazines,
So, and like all those things, yeah,
Newsletters.
magazines and books, they count
newspapers.
as entertainment media. What are those ones that are like our comfort we go to when it's like, oh, it's been a hard day, I'm going to sit down and watch this movie or listen to this song or something. Or you just want to chill and like, let's turn on this. Because at least for me, I think I have too many. No, not too many. I have like 2 really good comfort movies. And it's Into the Spider-Verse. I love that one. Beautiful animation, great story. I can sit down and watch it every day. And the other one is How to Train Your Dragon. But it's a toss-up between 1 and 2. Because those 2 I can just go through either way. And I just sit down again. The animation's beautiful. And I love the music in it. That's the music I listen to for comfort. Is Romantic Flight and maybe Test Flight as well. Those.
Some good ones right there.
Peace. I'm at peace with those.
Those are great. Something for me that, like, if I just have a really tough day, I'll go home and play video games. And most of the time, I used to anyway. I don't really have time to do that anymore. But one of the ones I used to sit down and just play for, like, hours was Minecraft. I could just, like, sit down and, like, start a survival world and just, like, sit there and I could play just for a while. And it was like, oh, I could do that. And I'd either listen to music or... and, like, when it comes to, like, movies that are comfort for me, How to Train Your Dragon is a really good one. But one of the ones that really just hits home for me is Spirited Away.
That's a good one.
I
That's a
love that
nice
one. And Silent Voice. Those are some just
I haven't
great
seen that.
movies.
I want
It's a
to.
good
I
one.
haven't seen it either.
We could watch it sometime.
We'll have a movie night.
But those are kind of some of the movies that I watch that are like, I can go home and I can feel good about those.
I am an absolute video game legend. I play Counter-Strike.
Oh,
and
you sweat. You sweat?
I don't sweat. I'm just am.
No, right. You don't sweat.
You are the sweat.
I am like I just become the computer, bro. Just like
he's terrified.
So, fun story. Okay, this is so sad. Okay,
no,
we were playing something called a Wingman match, which is 2v2, and me and my friend Max absolutely dominating. And this guy has his Twitch link as his ID, as his username. I was like, we whip it up, and it's some dude. We felt so bad because we're absolutely destroying him without like kind of cheating. Watching the stream, we were just demolishing him, and he was just like, man, I just got off a 10-hour shift, guys. And he's like some middle-aged dad, and we're just like, oh my, just absolutely demolished him 9-0. And I live for that. Just I love to be I love to destroy, and I love the competition of Counter-Strike. Dude, I love competition so much because my friends, like, I destroy them because they don't like once the thing gets hard, they quit, and I'm like, that's not how you play the game, dude. And
it's that the maximum time had been reached.
Okay, I guess we'll just do audio then.
No, thank you.
Sweet.
Technically supporting.
Is that considered technical support?
That's technical support.
Technically
right
supporting.
It's technical support of media, guys.
It is broadcasting.
Technically, it is.
Okay, continuing on after me showing how terrible I am as a person playing video games.
You know, you go check this guy's Twitch stream, find out he's just come off a 10-hour shift and ruined his life and everything.
It's happened twice actually, where we find some streamer.
This is why,
and we destroy them, and then we go up, we search their Twitch, and they're just like, they're like 7 ranks lower than us, and they're like, why is the game matching us? Guys are 10 levels higher than us. I'm like, oh my, that's awesome. I'm so sad, but I still win.
Okay, you and I are very different people.
I'm a horrible person, but I'm really good at it.
He likes to see people suffer.
Which is ironic. You know why? Because I love to watch like wholesome animes. So like I watched one just called Toradora, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just a cute little high school romance series, and I was like enjoying it, eating it up.
Palm Top Tiger.
Yep. So yeah. It's ironic.
Destroyer of souls. But watch
the binger of good. The binger of good and destroyer of soul.
Good night. Good night.
Oh my gosh.
So if we ever play video games, just
I don't think I want to play with you. Do you play Rainbow Six Siege too?
No, but I would be really good at it.
If the camera was on, I'd be.
All I'm gonna say is it's really, really different than Counter-Strike.
It's Call of Duty style, which is different. And I used to be an absolute legend at that at 12.
What about Valorant? You played Valorant too?
That's too easy for me. Because it's
too
CSGO.
Easy, he says.
Valorant's CSGO meant for children, okay? And so it's so much easier.
Remember when CSGO used to be good? Remember when it used to be a good game? No, I don't remember that either, guys. Don't worry.
This is why I stay out of those games, and I just kind of chill on my own server.
It is so toxic, too, because, like, people are so bad and they can't justify their badness, so they start swearing and crap like that.
I'm also not a sweat. I have a life.
I do have a life, I promise. I promise, I swear.
Remember the days of, like, the Halo chats?
Oh,
back in, like, early 2000?
Dude, I was, like, 12.
Yeah, but you can still remember that.
I still remember.
I don't.
Halo
Actually, I got
Reach.
once.
Oh my
Halo
gosh.
Reach, man. I love that. I never ran. I'm not gonna lie. In Halo, I never ran into a single rude person on Halo Reach.
I want to doubt it.
Super surprising.
I want to doubt
I
it.
might just not remember it, but like, I just remember the first time that I ever got on a mic. I was freaking 12. You know, so I was just like, oh,
10,
hey
12
guys.
years old.
It was like my first time getting Xbox Live. I had no
Hey guys, I
idea.
do what I do.
You got
I
the
was like,
Wi-Fi
hey, guys.
connection.
I was decent. I was decent enough at the game because I used to play like LAN parties and stuff with friends. So I wasn't awful, but I was 12.
So here comes me. I played Call of Duty, but I played Halo for fun. But Call of Duty, I was a professional. At 12, I was the top fragger all the time. And we'd do no scope 1v1s against these middle-aged adults. And they would send us the nastiest Xbox freaking messages after we destroyed them, dude. It was so bad.
Is that a mental condition he has here?
I didn't. I'm not even trash talking, but we're just destroying them in the game, and then they're sending messages like, "I'm gonna
I think
beep,
he
your
has
mom,
a
beep, beep, beep,
condition.
beep."
Or I'm noticing
No,
where it's always older people that he is pissing off for being really good, and he enjoys it.
I think he has a complex that started when he was young.
Does Wesley have a god complex?
you see, guys, you can try, but I am the best. No,
You
I'm
can
not.
run, but you'll just die tired.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna use the next
I
one to play
read that
CS:GO.
somewhere. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember the first time I got on the mic. And they were just the nicest dudes. They were obviously like probably middle 20s, 30s.
Halo's a whole different community, though.
I know.
They're not
Xbox,
toxic.
Or like, what was
That's
it?
not what I
Call of
remember.
Duty is like very toxic community.
Yeah, it was.
Way toxic.
Absolutely.
But Halo was there was
Little
still, you
chill.
could find toxicity. The toxicity in the Halo community was bad. But it was a mostly not toxic, very welcoming community. At least that's the experience that I had. Like, these guys were just the coolest people ever. And like it was so much fun because they were joking around with me and treating me like an adult, but I was 12. So I was eating up.
They're like, let's go, Big Ross.
Yeah,
follow me.
Pick it up, I just dropped it, pick it up. Let's go.
Yeah, pick up the gravity hammer. Oh, dude, this thing's sweet.
The gravity hammer is one of the best. I love
The
that.
golf club,
Griff
bro.
ball, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you
Yeah.
remember Griff ball at all. It was so fun.
Dude, the custom maps on Halo 3 and Halo Reach were unbeatable.
Nothing beats them. They tried to do Forge and Halo 4 again, and it didn't work.
Just Halo 4 was bad, in general.
Yeah.
And then Halo.
That was
Halo
the
5 was too.
beginning of the downfall. Halo 4 was all right, but it was the beginning of the downfall.
It was just going down, though.
Mhm.
Speaking
I-
of downfalls in media in general, because video games, movies, TV shows, they all kind of had a downfall. I think roughly that same time as like Halo
Yeah.
4, where they just went down in quality.
I see. I see what you're saying. It's just like anything.
Mhm.
Like, something good comes out, and then everybody tries to capitalize on it or something like that, or monopolize it, or
Like so it became we're trying to do cool things with these new ideas and like new forms of media okay, now that we kind of know what works, we're going to make money off of it. And so once people started trying to make money off of these different forms of media, that's when it all started to go downhill because it didn't feel the same. I feel like there is a difference when someone puts passion into something and
Exactly.
someone's just trying to make some money.
yeah, we see that a lot these days, especially with TV shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of, I won't go off TV shows right now because there's so many of them, but one right now is like horror movies.
They've always been the same.
Horror movies are just horrible now. Like, they're just not even
Hence
scary,
the name.
and they're not good anymore, and they're not scary anymore, and you haven't seen a good one that's new in a long time.
That's kind of why I enjoyed horror movies, is because for people that didn't watch them as much or just were super scared, they were always fun to watch with, because I would just easily pick up jump scares coming here. This is going to happen here. This is going to happen. Like, they're so easy to read.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is the person. It's like a Scooby-Doo mystery. Like, you know who it is almost right off the bat. And if you don't, then it's like, okay, cool. Anyways, the movie's over. But like horror movies, they're very repetitious. And it's coming into most other things as well. Like Marvel or DC movies, this is a not heavy topic, but dicey topic, I would say.
Yep.
Controversial.
Controversial, that's the word. They are getting somewhat repetitive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's after Endgame, right? After Endgame came out, everything just kind of got fatigued and repetitive, seeing the same things that you see in horror movies and video games and stuff. Same stories, same things. Nothing really changes.
It feels like the creativity has kind of gone out of media a little bit almost. That's kind of like what I would say.
Yeah.
The creativity is lacking. People don't know where to go from here.
Yeah. It's like people want stuff, and so there's quantity, but not really quality. They're not giving that time, which I feel like with the lockdown and everything, they would have given so much more time to come up with these really good stories while everyone's stuck in their homes. But it really just came out to,
let's get as much out as possible right now.
yeah.
Because everyone was consuming, and so it was just like there was a big need for it. So the quality went down, in my opinion, during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
I think recently we've maybe seen a little bit of an upturn, a little bit of spike in quality. Not spike, but a little bump in quality when it comes to movies. I mean, the D&D movie was really good.
Yes.
That we went to go see. That was pretty decent. And from what I've been told, there's been a few other good movies that have come out. The Ant-Man and Wasp movie, it was all right, but it was better than some of the recent Marvel movies.
That's true. There's a lot of people like, oh, this one wasn't all that good, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I haven't seen a lot of the Marvel movies at their release and everything. Like, even for me, I actually enjoyed the Eternals movie because it's on its own and it's not a typical superhero movie, but it's more of like a family, character-driven story. And that's been what I've been wanting is more character-driven stories because I'm kind of tired of generic superheroes, and I got that in a superhero movie. So that fit like the target audience for me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is a little off topic, but it's like forcing some alternate agenda through because you have such a large viewers or whatnot. And so like forcing some sort of political statement inside a movie or TV show is like an absolute turnoff for me. And like if it's part of the story, like, oh yeah, that's cool. It makes sense. Yeah, it's in the story and you don't think anything about it, but then you're just watching the show and then out of the blue, they just force it, just like slaps you in the face, just like, yeah. You're just like, alternate agenda. You're just like, ah! And you get so sad and disappointed after all of that. And I feel I've seen a lot of more of that recently as well. And mixed with that poor quality story or plot and content,
because the story's not there, that the political agenda is the majority of it, that you can just see it right then and there. Whereas if there's actually quality, you could mix the two and have a well-made story and like, oh, I see the movie is like kind of sharing this message, but it wasn't too much.
And that's the thing. That was the media of the past. There was always an underlying message, always a thing that they wanted to be talked about afterwards.
Yes.
But now people are making that the basis of it, and then they're like, okay, we need to make a story around this.
Yeah.
When before it was, okay, we're going to make a story, but we can kind of slip this message in a little bit.
Yes.
And so it's
reversed.
It's reversed from what it should be now. People are making political statements with their films and media and all this stuff, instead of making stories or making media and then having messages be part of it. And so it's kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, it just, a lot of it has become kind of convoluted and just mixed. And I'm not going to talk about my personal political opinions, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, people are trying to be too political with it.
I watched an old movie for one of my humanities classes, and it was like called The Touch of Evil, and it's a black and white film, but man, it's a film noir style, and man, it was so good. But it was showing like that realism of some of the problems at the time. Like there was bad racism between America and like Mexico and things like that, and like drugs and all that thing. But the story was so good as well. But then you saw those things like occur in like a realistic setting, and you're just like, oh yeah, that was it's part of the story, and it's realistic because it's part of the story. And so you're like, yeah, maybe drug smuggling is bad, or being a dirty cop is bad, or racism bad, kind of a thing. And you get those things not because it's a political statement, but because it's realistic or part of the story.
Yeah.
Or problem.
Exactly. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. You kind of see, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily like the direction that media is starting to go.
Yeah.
Especially because, in my opinion, video games are also becoming extremely repetitive.
They're
The only
doing
thing that
the exact same thing.
It's not even game mechanics anymore. It's
No.
just graphics. That's
The
it.
graphics change, but
So-
the mechanics are like the same thing.
So I've been looking into wanting to make a game because that's part of my like I want to create something,
Mhm.
and like because you can look at like Unreal Engine and all these video game creating engines like whatever Fortnite's using right now, or they're using Unreal. What am I talking about? And like all the Call of Duties, Fortnite, and like AAA titles are all made on Unreal Engine. It's all just the same engine with the same mechanics, and you're able to do things like that. And so people creating their own style is a thing of the past anymore. Like you could tell the difference between Call of Duty, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare because they were two different complete styles and they had two complete different feelings of gameplay when you played them. And that's like you could know it was like a Call of Duty or Modern Warfare versus Black Ops or vice versa just by playing it. But then they like merged.
They merge the whole thing. It's just.
And you're just like,
So which one are you going to play? They're the same thing.
yeah, they're the same thing now. And it got rid of the difference.
Mhm. And that was kind of something that happened with Halo too, which made me
Yes.
really sad. Because Halo was like, it still is like my favorite overall like all-time game, I think, because it just
Mhm.
brought me so much joy when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Halo Reach.
Yep.
But that's the thing. As soon as I think it was 343 Studios
Mm-hmm.
or 343 Industries like left and like stopped working on it,
Yep.
or was it
Yeah.
the other way around?
I think they sold out.
I think yeah. Like once 343 left, it felt like something was missing.
You lost the passion,
Yeah.
and it just became a business.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was Bungie.
Yeah.
It was working
Bungie
on
first.
Halo and Destiny at the same time.
Yeah, it was
And
Halo and
that's
then
why the games
343.
were crap. Because they're two space games that are, you know.
That's what I thought. I was like, they're literally just made Halo again,
Different,
but
somewhat.
it's just different.
Yeah.
The gameplay was a little bit different.
Well, yeah, it's a whole different game
Yeah.
because it's a whole bunch of different like game
But, like,
mechanics and
same,
things like that.
Space, aliens, this, that.
That was
Yeah.
like one of the turnoffs for me. It was just like, oh, it's not Halo,
Mm.
and so I was like, oh, it's not Halo. I don't want to play it
I was
because
trying
it's
to
like,
find a replacement for Halo at that point. I was like,
Oh.
what can replace Halo Reach for me? Nothing has been able to replace Halo Reach.
because that's
for me.
where it kind of should have ended.
Yeah.
It should have
In my
ended.
opinion-
Halo 3 should have ended there, and Reach should have ended there, and then then they sold out, and then
They kept going. That's
And
another
now
thing.
there's a freaking TV series.
it's
I'm so
don't get me started. I haven't even seen it. I'm ticked off,
I've only
dude.
seen, like,
afford to see
images of it, and it looks really bad. And from what I hear about the series, it's just bad.
I've heard it doesn't stick to any lore, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of shows. These
you
days.
see just
Yeah.
a couple shots. One of like Cortana, and one is like a fighting montage against some elites, and like the absolute like props and things like that are stunning. They're like perfect, but like the story horrible, none. And then like CGI horrible too, and like because like there was like a CGI Cortana. Oh, it was awful, bro. She was like back from. It was like they had better quality and better characters of Cortana 10 years ago than they did for her. And then like with this like fighting scene, you could tell it was just like there was just like some area and everything else around it was like green screened or just like it just looked unnatural. It looked too clean, too perfect. Not too perfect, just too clean, too barren. It was just like
It's that uncanny valley feeling.
yeah, it like
This
is
doesn't
too
make
nice.
sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Halo brought me so much joy as a kid. And just these money grabbers have just ruined it. Is really what it is.
Yeah, it really is just a grab for money, and a lot of these things now is just, let's get as much money as we can. We don't really care about the quality. We just know that
Feed
we
off
can
of
get
their
money.
nostalgia. Let's feed off of their
That's
desire
exactly-
and want for more.
Well, they did like if we look at Star Wars, that was like the biggest. Like we could have just kept going with something because there's all this other stuff. It's like
There's
galaxies of galaxies, but then like they had to copycat the same story, but with a new character,
We're staying in the same place with the same story
the same bad guy.
and everything.
Same freaking bad guy. Yeah, it ended up being Palpatine in the end anyway.
Somehow Palpatine's returned. It
Best
doesn't.
line in all of Star Wars.
Somehow Palpatine didn't die.
If you watch a trailer, you it's not a spoiler, okay? It's a trailer.
It's been out for years as well.
Yeah.
So
And it
like,
was horrible. never mind.
You've had your chance. But
Fictional spoiler alert.
Dang.
savage.
I thought I was the mean one.
See, here's the thing. A couple years ago, when I first started doing this, it was with Reggie. You remember Reggie.
Our friend Reggie, yeah.
We started doing this because of the sequel trilogy. Because it was so poorly reviewed and everything. I just had like a sour taste of it in my mouth and everything. I was like, you know what? I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to try to see like why people enjoyed it and try to like get a change of pace, change of opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it. We watched it with different people. And I actually enjoyed rewatching it. I was like, okay, these movies aren't all that bad.
Also,
It still is like missing pieces of the overall Star Wars, and it does like take away some parts. But like they were trying to do something, and it could have been so well done that I can go back and watch them and enjoy them. Force Awakens, I enjoyed. The Last Jedi, I actually really liked.
They had really good like cinematic shots,
Mm-hmm.
but zero.
There was potential, especially with The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Tons of setup potential that could have gone places. Last Jedi did its whole own thing. If it was its own movie, it could have been really cool.
Yeah.
If it wasn't set within like the established like Skywalker saga, it could have been really interesting concepts.
Yeah.
Because that whole style and everything would have been really nice.
Yeah.
And then The Last Skywalker. Wait, no. Last Skywalker? No, I'm mixing two names. The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
It was like, okay, let me try to erase The Last Jedi, but also take The Force Awakens, but also try to tie everything up together. And also, from what I hear, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but there wasn't actually an overall script for all three movies. Like, there wasn't an actual plan of how things are going to go. They just said they want 3 different directors for each movie,
Oh.
which is, it's okay. Movies can have different directors going on, but each different director had their own kind of pacing and ideas, but they didn't have, like, a sit-down plan together.
Ooh.
So it was really messy.
Interesting.
They just wanted to capitalize on it again. And, like, I would really love to see more for those characters.
So, or you can go.
Oh, I was gonna say it's really hard to have something like that as well when there's so much hype behind it and so many people excited about it.
Yes.
Like you can't do something like, and then you have something like the Mandalorian and the Clone Wars going on at the same time, which are freaking amazing.
Yep.
See,
And
Mandalorian's
you
just
come out
fixing
with
it.
trash, and it's like people. Of course, people are gonna be disappointed. Like yeah, they're probably good individual movies, and I can give them
But as a
that.
whole,
But as a whole, and with everything else going on around it, it just didn't work.
So,
It just wasn't good.
so like, I love watching those videos on YouTube, like I was saying, and it was
Cinema Sins and Cinema Wins.
I cannot
love those.
I used to watch Cinema Sins all the time, but after a certain point, I just couldn't, because then they just ruin movies. And it's like, you know what? I cannot watch his videos anymore. I know they're satire, but I cannot, because then it ruins it. I go to Cinema Wins. I watch his, it makes me feel better. Like, even for Avatar The Last Airbender, we all know it's garbage. You cannot debate that. It's a stated fact. It's garbage. I said it. But I watch it, it redeems it in some points. Yeah, so I go for that.
anyways, as I was giving back
Yes,
back
but-
to Halo, but pretty much, I watched this YouTube channel that recreated a Halo story kind of a thing. Well, not
Corridor Crew.
It wasn't a Halo. Yes, it was Corridor Crew. I love those guys.
They're amazing.
And they
Love you.
created a little. This one guy was like, "Man, I really wanted to create a Halo short film," and so he made a little trailer for it. And he literally had like zero budget and only himself and one other person to help me. Him, sorry. And he created such a visually like better story, better character, better like trailer
It's
than the
really
entire
good.
Halo like TV series they've created so far. And he hasn't even. He's probably going to create this little short series TV,
Let's give it to
short
the fans.
and he's gonna. I guarantee he's gonna do great about it because he loves it. Has like
passion.
he has the passion. And so I'm excited to see stuff like that, like random homebrew created, like little short stories created by some YouTube guy. Those are better than the $1 million spent for what we're watching now.
When there's passion in
Yes.
something and it's not a company
Yeah,
trying to hire people to make money, it actually turns out good.
It's very
If you
true.
want a good product, you need to hire people that are going to care about the results. Like that's just it. It really is. I'm a welder, right? That's what I do for a job. I care about everything I weld on because I want it to look good and I want myself to look good.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say I worked for just some random person for a short period of time. I didn't really care how it turned out. I was going to get paid no matter what. You think whatever I make is going to be good?
No,
Probably
Dad.
not. I'm going to get done with it as quickly as possible or waste as much time so I can get paid more.
Okay,
Like-
Dad. Stop scrunching at me.
But like, you have to care about what you're doing, and companies have to hire people that care about these projects. Like the Filoni guy who did Clone Wars.
Yes.
Dave
He
Filoni.
cares about it. He loves
There's
it.
so much
He
heart.
knows there's heart in it. Thank you.
Yes.
Like there's just, and then it's so good. But that's the thing. Like Clone Wars is a cartoon, right? It's on Cartoon Network. But like, it was so good, and it wasn't really for kids. It's something that an adult can go and watch, and it's gonna be amazing.
It's deep. And I was going to go back to that on Clone Wars, is that before, the prequels were hated just like the sequels.
Uh-huh.
But then the Clone Wars came out, it made everyone rethink about the prequels as a whole.
Yeah.
And then you just got so much more depth for all of the Jedi, for all of the Sith. Like, you understood what was going on. And then you rewatch it and you're like, oh, I understand what's going on here between episodes 2 and 3 because this happened, this happened, this happened. And it just made the thing a lot better. I see the same thing with The Mandalorian. Of like, it's going through to set up how the First Order came, how like Palpatine returned, like all those things. The Mandalorian's kind of setting things up. That's what I've been seeing, and like, Mandalorian's a great show. I've enjoyed it. It's really good, and there's that heart in it. So Star Wars fans, when they put their heart into something, their stuff looks 10 times better than what the big studio Disney, don't kill us Disney, makes.
Star Wars fan films.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool.
Those are so nice.
And if not, then like you get like they love it and they wanted to try to create something and they tried and you like appreciate that point. Though it may not be the greatest, but like throughout Clone Wars, you see that character development and story. Like at first, it's kind of like it's like a children's cartoon, of course. But there's no camera anymore.
We'll still look as if there is one.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, but like you see like how the characters change or clones change, even though they're all the same. Like
They make you
slowly,
love clones.
like that's a children's freaking cartoon, dude. And they were able to, and they did such a great time. There's like other like children's cartoons, like Adventure Time was also great. Or
I
like
never watched it because it was that part of that time where Cartoon Network and stuff was changing.
yes,
And it was just like, oh, this is too kiddish. It was part of the intro.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, like, oh, the story's coming in now. Like, what the heck happened, guys?
They had to reel in their audience a little bit, but then it kind of also backfired slightly.
Slightly.
It goes back to like the beginning when I was talking about just scrolling through like short
If it
information.
doesn't catch your attention,
It's
you're gone.
it's turning into just a stimulation more than anything else. Like with kids, like cartoons now. I know like ones like Blue. Blue is actually pretty good. I've heard-
Bluey.
Bluey. But like the majority of like kids shows now are just like
They're
the
fast
dumbest
paced.
thing I've ever seen, and
Cocomelon?
it's so much color and sound and enough to give you a migraine after 30 seconds.
The animation is like
And
really
it's
weird. It's so
gross.
fast paced and doesn't look good, in my opinion. Like, why are they moving that way? That's not what my
Gross.
animations look like. Watch this. Like, it's too slow. I don't like. There's a story. I'm like, I'm sorry you don't like Raven and Starfire.
Like Teen Titans, I would have killed to watch Teen Titans as a kid.
Teen Titans Go.
I did.
No.
But then there's Teen Titans Go, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It's what?"
Where's the story?
Look, it's pretty good as a children's
Yeah.
thing.
As
Just
to
the
entertain
zero.
6-year-olds,
There's
yeah.
zero story in it. That's where it kind of started. That's when media kind of starts switching
Mhm.
to just stimulants instead of an actual like.
When episodes are not connected to each other and
What's
they're
the point?
unrelated, it's a stimuli that's supposed to just give you dopamine,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's it.
Yeah, that's the difference. Because, us old folks here are...
We're not old,
At
but
20
sure.
years old.
At 20 years old, we know better than you guys.
You guys are old. I'm not old.
You're the same age. Calm down.
I'm actually like, yeah, we're all like the same age. Actually.
I'm gonna be 21 in June, actually.
Okay,
In a month.
okay, you're a little baby then. Okay,
Oh, baby. You're right.
Little baby.
but I'm mentally younger than you.
Do I need to punch your knee out again?
You could try.
I will try.
Okay, I'm
I
flexing.
thought he just did like the.
I'm flexing. Go for it.
No, but like our shows, I feel like had a lot of story, a lot of depth. Of,
Yes.
Like they would build and everything, and you look back at it, like even Courage the Cowardly Dog. That show was terrifying,
That
but there was a
was-
story almost every episode.
That was
like,
such a
carried
unique,
on.
like, thriller or
Yeah,
horror
that was a
experience.
kids show. There's
It's a
nothing.
really unique concept.
Yes.
It was good.
It was good. Teen Titans has a story. You follow them. You
Dark,
understand.
but good.
Dark
Yes.
and good, and you can see yourself in each different character and everything. But now shows, it's like these are made for kids. Our kids shows were made for us, but also as we developed, as we grew with the show, like the show developed as well, and we can look back and say, "Oh wow, this was teaching us this, or this was teaching us that." You don't
You
see
know
that.
what? You know what's funny?
Hmm.
Hallmark video movies. I enjoy those more than like the majority of films that's been coming out.
I don't know. He's gonna sell. The
You know
farm.
exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's a story. It's an actual story though that has some sort of character
It's
development
entertaining.
and it's wholesome, and I enjoy that. And so it's fun.
People make fun of them so much, and I do. I've never seen them, but you know the depth. Like when someone says, "Oh, it's a Hallmark film,like
you know
typical
it's gonna be low quality.
low quality."
It's not even low quality either. They have like some pretty good sets too. Like this last Christmas, man, so many
Coming
people
to you
fell in
this
love
Christmas.
somehow. I knew they were gonna fall in love. I just didn't know.
You always know. As soon as the two main actors walk on screen, you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
so she's gonna deny him. He's gonna continue to try. She's gonna be like, oh no, he's not my type, but slowly fall in love with him. And then something's gonna happen in the midway point, exactly where the commercial break's gonna happen. And then she's gonna be like, maybe I do love him. And then
they
the
go-
crisis. Yes, the
and
crisis.
then they
happens.
run to this, stop them from getting on the airplane.
Yes, the airplane, or maybe the family farm's getting sold.
Yeah.
Or he's going back to New York, or something has to happen.
Yeah.
Where there's like tension. And then they get back, it's like, but Dallas, I love you. It's like, but Jennifer, it's like, just don't leave me. And then they get together and everyone feels so happy. And then there's Santa Claus somehow. It's like, Santa is real. And that's the movie.
It's so awesome.
It's so cheesy, but you watch them no matter what.
They're so good because they have better story, plot development, character
Even though
development.
they're all the same.
Yes, but there's
There's
a
still
little
better
difference.
But we just complained about Marvel being the same, but Hallmark gets to be
But-
okay.
Because there's no hype surrounding Hallmark.
That's
you
fair.
don't expect it from these small production companies.
Hallmark
You
Cinematic
expect-
Universe, make it happen.
You
They're
ex-
they're literally like they're doing their own thing. That's why they're called Hallmark films because they are setting that trend and they're fully accepting it. They won't deny it. They're like, this is what we do, and we're not gonna just change it to like
What this is.
and it's like slowly and slowly. There's more and more action sequences in Marvel movies or some crap like that.
Yeah.
And then there's no story or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not super experienced when it comes to like romantic movies. Not until recently have I started watching them. And yeah.
His girlfriend's sitting across from him, and we know she's the culprit.
So what movies have you made him watch? Did you make him watch Notebook?
Right.
Not yet?
Not yet. Not the Notebook.
We watched 10 Things I Hate About You.
Ooh, that's
and
a
then
good
we
one.
started
While
watching.
you were sleeping.
What?
While you were sleeping.
Well, yeah, while you were sleeping.
That's a movie?
Yeah.
I thought that was just like while you're sleeping we watched this movie.
No, While You Were Sleeping is a movie. And then I feel like there's one
How
more.
was the guy in space?
How was
That's
that
intense.
intense?
Ah.
And then I also, not because of her, I watched Sleepless in Seattle. I think it was called Sleepless in Seattle,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
actually a great movie.
You
I
know
love
what's-
that.
You know what's a funny one? Crazy Rich Asians.
I still haven't seen that one.
Have you seen that?
It's pretty
No, I
good.
didn't see it.
It's so good. It's another loved one.
You know
I've
Romantic.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen parts of it, but I fell asleep in the middle of that one.
I think it's pretty good actually.
You know what's one I really enjoyed? La La Land.
I haven't
that
seen
one?
that. I need
I've
to.
seen it.
Really? None of
I've
you
heard
guys?
it's great.
I've
It's
been
so
told it's
good.
as well.
I
Emma
just need
Stone,
to find a girl
Bradley
to watch it
Cooper, like it's so good. And the ending just gets me every single time. I am passionate about this movie.
My girlfriend does not agree with you, and that is not a good sign.
What? I don't wait, hold up. I might have gotten it wrong. It's not Bradley Cooper.
Technical support. Do we need to get a fourth mic out here?
We can get it out. We can debate right here. I will die on La La Land.
I'll give you my mic if you. First off, you're wrong.
Nope, not Bradley Cooper. Ryan Gosling. Does that make it better in your eyes now?
I don't like the ending.
That's why. Okay. You guys can't see it yet. You can't say anything about it yet. But the ending breaks my heart. And I love it because of it.
You know, I saw a little, one of those little Facebook reels or some crap like that of the cameraman. I love cameraman memes. Like, you know what's faster than Flash? The cameraman.
Stronger than Goku?
This guy had like one of those shoulder strapped cameras. And you see why, because there's like some tap dancing piano playing. And there was no transition shot, two different cameras.
Yeah.
And he was just flicking between each shot as the guy tapped him. And he was just
whip slash.
And like he dropped it dead still and got the whole film, and then next one, and like I was just like, dang, like that's what like that kind of shows like what you put into your film, and it kind of makes sense that had that sort of craze with the movie or whatnot.
And that's the thing, when directors get creative, I hate when directors rely on CGI.
It wouldn't be a problem if it was good, but it's always bad.
I'm very passionate about this topic here.
I very much enjoy practical effects.
Thank you.
Squibs and explosions and actually rolling cars. And it's just so good. Nothing can beat it.
That's why, again, the D&D movie was so good. Majority was practical effects. Just saying.
Another one that I liked was Rogue One. Talking about the Star Wars again, I really enjoyed Rogue One, and there was a lot of practical effects in Rogue One. And so it was one of those, like, I don't know, I really love practical effects.
We have technology. Yes, use it. But however, what I remember learning is that CGI is to enhance practical effects. You use it on top of it. So you get an explosion, but then you touch it up with a little bit of CGI to really make it like boom, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But like you don't rely on CGI. That's where a lot of people have issues with like the Marvel movies, is that too much of it is just CGI. Especially in Thor Love and Thunder, where you have the giant floating head. And it just doesn't look good. I didn't believe it when I heard it, but then you see it, and it's just not good looking. Mm-hmm. But if you just did a mix of visual effects with practical effects, then things can look good. Like Lord of the Rings. That still holds up. Pirates of the Caribbean with Davy Jones, that looks better than most things today.
Mm-hmm. And it's because it was all practical effects
mixed with CGI.
Enhanced by CGI. And now there's just too much, like, they're trying to put CGI into things, and it just doesn't work.
This is why it's hard for me to have, like, any sort of comfort media. I brought it back.
He's defending himself. I'm not watching.
It's because it's just low quality now.
Mm.
That's fair. That's majority. Like, good media will find you kind of, not like find you, but like you'll hear about the good stuff. Mm. Because like everyone's always pushing
the mainstream,
their movie or whatnot, and it's just then you never hear about it ever again. Mm-hmm. The good stuff always pulls through, and so
yeah. I mean, that's kind of like with my music. That's how I am.
Exactly.
I listen to a lot of the old stuff because it's good. It's reliable. So like I listen to a ton of metal. So like Iron Maiden, Metallica, AC/DC, Pantera, cool. Like all of these bands that are big, they're metal, and they're old because they're good. They define what metal was at the time.
This is pissing me off about radio songs these days because they don't have any meaning to me when I listen to them. Like I hear some weird sound rapper create one of the most fire jams ever, and it's only like 2 minutes long. But it has like that passion and feeling in it, and you get that passion and feeling from listening to that song. And same with old ones, like they have some sort of story or like some modem, whatever. I can't think anymore. But like, yes. But they're telling something through their music, and you feel that, and you believe that, or want to feel that when you listen to it. But now these days, it's just like the same song just reproduced over and over, just a little different.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, okay, this is a super unpopular opinion.
Uh-oh.
And
I love it.
I know my girlfriend is going to give me a look right now, like, you
She's
did not just say that, we're going to break up. I don't like Taylor Swift. Never mind, she agrees with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what?
So,
Hey, it's okay.
Old Taylor, like early
Old
days
Taylor.
Taylor Swift
That
was
good.
actually pretty good, and I would listen to that.
Okay.
But this new Taylor Swift since like 2015, 2016 is breaking my heart. Because you're breaking my heart. Look what you've done. Like I can't listen to that music and be like, this
Your
is
girlfriend's
good stuff.
shaking her head yes.
Swifties, don't go off on him, please. He's
No, you
just
could go
misjudged.
off. He's a man, so you could take it.
Swifties, don't go off on
I
him.
can take it. Don't worry.
He could take it.
But like,
You can't take the full force of the Swifties.
like just her old music was great, and there was a lot of passion behind it, and a lot of like good stuff.
Exactly.
But this new music, I feel like it's just reaching out to a crowd and like trying to get a reaction, and trying to just maintain an audience, and it doesn't. I don't like it as much as the old stuff that Taylor Swift used to make.
You're hurting me. I thought the same way because I was like, oh, Reputation came out and I was like, oh, I don't like that because it was the Look What You Made Me Do. It's like, okay, this is
Yeah, he's a
very,
Taylor
very
Swift
different from what her old stuff was of like Red and I was gonna say 1989. That's newer stuff. But like Speak Now and Fearless, I loved those versions of Taylor Swift. Those still are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But re-listening to them, it's like, okay, I actually really enjoy these songs now, and there's like a different grown up version of her to it, but also I kind of enjoy folk music or like more acoustic. So when she came out with Evermore and Folklore, I gravitated to those albums very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I don't know. I love Taylor Swift. It is somewhat different, well, quite different to what she used to do, but I still think that like her music is beautiful. I would be at her concert right now if I could be. I would very much be at her concert.
Yeah, forget the podcast, I guess.
Maybe I need to go back and listen to some of those albums. I don't know, but
Also, like, the attention she puts into them, like, when you listen and, like, go through quite a bit of her songs, they're somewhat connected. She leaves a lot of Easter eggs and everything into them. There's 3 songs in Folklore album that are all connected, that all, like, talk about each other. August, Betty, and Champagne Problems, they all are, like, connected, talking about another relationship. A lot of her songs are relationships, but they're not all about her, but, like, for other people or stuff. Like, I don't know. I love Taylor Swift. I think she's a mastermind, and she's good. I will die on my
personally, I
hill.
think she sold her soul to the devil, but that's fine.
How dare you speak about Mother like that?
Mother day.
My friends and I, okay, I was in math lab, and we got bored one day.
Oh,
So we decided to talk about the Taylor Swift concert that was coming up. And both,
The greatest.
all of the guys that I used to have, like, in that class, they all had the same opinion. They didn't like Taylor Swift, right? We were all kind of on the same page. And one guy chimed up one day. He's like, I think Taylor Swift is sold the devil. He's like, hear me out. She was really unpopular for a very long period of time after some of her albums came out. Then all of a sudden, she's putting on a concert, and she's got like thousands upon thousands of people going to each concert. And like, it's just all just out of nowhere all of a sudden. And so he's like, I think she sold her soul to the devil to get famous again. And I was like,
that's probably real.
you know what?
I
Wouldn't be surprised.
Music industry is
Music
It's
industry.
scary.
I hear,
Yeah, it's
there's
scary.
like a lot of weird things that you hear about artists and people and things that go on.
That weird like 2 a.m. like YouTube videos, like why the music industry is
the way it
Satan.
is. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, but here's the thing. I feel like a lot of it as well just kind of comes down to someone regains popularity or someone just gets popular again, and then it goes to like,
Then
how
they
did this
die.
happen? They died and sold their soul to the devil or something like that. And it's like they could have, or just a random spur.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe people try to be nostalgic or something. Like, I don't know.
No, there's
There's
a
something
lot
in a
of
lot.
conspiracy.
There's conspiracy theories.
That's another day.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist,
I love them.
but Taylor Swift sold her soul to the devil. That's all.
I would defend her to
I'm
the day
not
I
so
die.
and so,
What are you talking
but
about? She's got
So-
people who die for her.
All I'm saying is that she said Swifties
You're
get
just
the
part of
eight
the
prices down
algorithm,
and they
man.
get it.
you're just part of the algorithm. You got played by Satan.
But like Taylor Swift,
Getting played by Satan's algorithm.
She's kinda
That's a
gorgeous.
good YouTube
She's beautiful.
this title. I just got played by Satan.
oh goodness,
So I just bought Taylor Swift's new album. This is how it started.
that's how it started, guys.
We're buying Taylor Swift's new album to Satan worship.
Okay.
Like a skinwalker.
Oh no!
Dang.
no! Oh media.
Gracious.
I would say some of her songs are my comfort songs. I love her.
You know what? That's okay. Like everyone can have their own opinion. Everyone can have
Enchanted.
their own like. This is my opinion on Taylor Swift. I don't like her. Her new stuff at the very least. That's the thing. Eli likes Taylor Swift.
I love her.
New stuff.
He's
So
sold
it's
it.
like
He's
that's
selling
okay.
his soul to Satan.
I was a fan of her since I was like 12. So I've been like with her
He
for a
sold
long
his
time.
soul to
And like,
Satan.
I love her. Majority of our, well, me, my brother, and a couple of my sisters are all Swiftie fans. So like, we listen to her. We always listen to the albums when they come out and stuff and all that. So like, it's like a culture growing up thing. And other times like, okay, you grow up with it, you fall off of it. Same thing with like Halo. You know, you grow up with it, it changes, and then like it's not the same as it once was. Or Marvel. You grow up with it, changes, you fall
I'm
away.
okay with change, but if it's
jarring.
Bad change.
it's not like bad change, it's like if you just completely ruin the genre, that's
Like
That's-
Kanye
that's
going
different.
from what he did to Christian music, it's like, whoa,
that,
what happened?
that was like kind of fun, but the music was bad.
It was interesting.
There's
Ryan
there's
Last
kind of
Summer
one
Songs
pretty good
supported
one.
me on my mission. Jesus is King or whatever.
Oh.
Oh man, on my mission.
Kanye's music during Mission, whew, saved my life.
Oh.
I had a companion.
Chick-fil-A.
I had a companion.
That
That one was always gone.
That's hilarious.
But I had a
My
companion who I will not say the name of, but he would only listen to Tabernacle Choir. That was it.
Shoot, that must have been hard.
It was really
Not too
hard.
bad.
And so it was only Tabernacle Choir. And so whenever I got aux, I'm like, nope, I'm putting on my stuff. I go to the youth. You wouldn't even listen to the youth album.
I
I would go to a youth album. I would go to Kanye, the other
Messed
stuff.
up.
I'm like, why not? It's like, this is the best stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. Tab is for Sunday and for conference. Besides that, maybe mixed in here and there.
Mhm.
But I needed something else to like, because maybe we'll have a podcast episode explaining or detailing like mission and some other things. But like, when you go through a mission day, you need a little pick me up music to like get into the spirit.
Yeah.
You guys I had a little bit rougher than you guys, but
Everyone's
So,
mission's a little
anything-
different.
anything's
every
music is
mission
good- any
and
music's good to me
mission
now.
rules are a little different.
They're all so different. Some mission rules, there are none on music. You can listen to whatever you want. Others, you can only listen to tab. Others, music, what is that? There's none. It just varies.
And I couldn't do that. I love music way too much.
Hmm.
It would end me. Anytime we were driving somewhere, there was for a good 3 months of my mission, there was a rule where we could not listen to music while we were driving. And it drove me insane. I had to have some sort of music on. There was one time I had to drive. Okay, you're not gonna know where this is unless you're from the East Coast. But I had to drive from Winchester all the way to Lancaster, and it's like a good probably 3-hour drive.
dang.
And
You're not getting along with your companion.
I could not listen to music. I almost
That's
fell
not too
asleep
bad.
while I was driving. It was awful.
Not too bad.
But
It's-
when you
I'm
don't
also
get
a
along with your
psychopath,
companion, and so you're just sitting in the car for
That's
3
freaking
hours.
Patient to St. George. I would have died.
I could have done it. I've been through some stuff, so
I
it
could.
doesn't bother me anymore.
His head is empty. Don't worry.
Unless you're a middle-aged old man with 3 kids playing Counter-Strike.
Just trying to come home.
Or unless you're
Just trying
some
to
kind
blow
of
off some steam.
unless you're some NPC, then he's rolling stats for you and is in love. You are feeling his mind rent free. You should have seen it on this last session. We didn't record it, but again, NPC woman shows up, rolls for stats. He's like, hey,
You always
hey.
roll a D10 or D100. It was a 96.
He's like, hey, look, it's that.
I was like, brother.
I'm like,
No,
It's a
brother.
96.
Like, no, stop simping.
So now he is titled the Simp Player.
I'm not a simp,
He's a simp.
but I'm just saying, if they're bad, you can't do nothing about it, okay?
Crimson is giving the dirtiest glare to him.
No,
and
she's not. She seems so confused.
No, they don't know that.
Because she doesn't play Dungeons and Dragons, so she doesn't understand.
You have to-
Now she's giving me a new question.
I'm going to be explaining this to her later. You guys
Do it.
Gosh dang.
And then when she, then anytime I roll for their stats, she could just facepalm and
Yeah.
throw something at me, probably.
She's got to just have like a little thing over there.
Just stop
A little dart.
Please hit him.
feel like we should just like join us when we're playing and just beat us when we do something stupid.
Pretty much.
It would help David.
You're gonna be David's lackey. That's what it is. Like,
We just give her the salt gun. You know the salt gun?
yes, I do.
With short sleeve shirts or t-shirts, bro. Those things are so fun.
Oh my gosh. So
I didn't like that, dude.
one area on my mission, there was like an infestation of those red lantern flies, right?
Yeah.
And so all of those tiny little like babies were out on our porch.
Yep.
And we would literally just go out there and we would massacre them with that salt gun. They were freaking resilient though. It took a couple shots for some of them.
You're just not shooting accurate enough.
No, we were because they would be scattered everywhere on the porch, and then they'd like still be trying to move.
How dare you insult this man with his aim?
I'm probably a better shot than you are.
You want to play CSGO?
No.
Okay, real shot. Come on now.
You want to use Nerf
Real
guns?
life skills.
You want to use airsoft? You want to use swords?
Bro, come on.
I'm actually a master of swords. Like,
I
unironic.
don't know how to use swords. If someone can
So it'd be even
sword, I'd
easier.
fall my hand.
Well, that's saying if you're fast enough. Second Amendment! Second!
You wouldn't know this, but each bullet is ingrained with the Second Amendment.
It's very smallly written on every single bullet.
I mean, the Second Amendment is like one of the shortest amendments, so it'd be the easiest to write.
Exactly. It's just right on the cap of it.
Yeah.
The bullet.
There you go.
Well, this has been a nice little first episode of this
A
podcast.
little bit of dingus moments.
Quite a few dingus. Well, I don't think they will ever go away.
We
Oh,
are,
they
we
won't.
are a bunch of dinguses.
The dingus is ingrained within us.
It will stay forever. But thank you for listening to whatever you may have listened on our topic on
Oh, cool.
media.
It's kind of media in general,
It
honestly.
was just
It's a good first episode.
yeah.
A little
Good
definition of
overall.
media.
Yeah, learn a little definition
How it
of
sucks.
media,
That's good.
Our
You-
opinions on it.
our opinions on it, and
How
where
Taylor
it could go.
Swift sold her soul to the devil.
We won't get into that because it'll be another fight. But hopefully listen to us next time when we might discuss about what our missions were like, or maybe another topic. You know, so if you have any ideas of topics you want us to talk about, send it into Facebook or Instagram, and also check out Dungeons and Dingnuts because we're stupid there as well.
Yes. It's hilarious.
And you'll get to see more stupid faces there too.
And me rolling stats.
Him rolling stats, him rolling natural 20s and 1s,
Also,
and me
being-
doing the most stupid things you can find.
I always have to fix them.
I think my dice are unbalanced, honestly. Yes. Every single dice set that I have bought is just cursed.
I don't let them touch my dice because I don't want them to curse
I think I
them.
touched it once, that dice has
I let you roll a d20 twice with them, and each time it was horrible. And so I was just like, "Yeah,
Nope,
I'm
no
not gonna let you touch my dice." And boy,
The combination of players we have at the table is just crazy.
It's a bit of a combo. That's all
I
I'm
will
saying.
say we will have at some point a little mini 4 series as Eli as our dungeon master,
Yes.
and
It'll be interesting. We'll see some new things here.
it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so if you like a few things,
If you like combat,
if you like combat,
awesome. If you like a little bit of horror,
a little bit of horror. If you like a little bit of como se dice? No, can't get into that. Yeah.
Say it in Spanish. I know it.
I don't know
Oh.
Spanish.
Because
that's why I go to instinct.
we're gonna have a little bit of role play,
A little bit, yeah. I would love a lot
probably
of role-play.
romance,
I do enjoy my
Lots
Roll-
of dice rolling.
rolling stats.
No, there's something. It's trauma. That's what it is.
Ah!
If you like dealing with character
Sounds like my
trauma,
life.
then this is going to be the miniseries.
I've already got enough of that.
Why were you
We don't have
looking at your
enough
girlfriend?
minutes to deal with that.
All right, moving on.
All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Ba-dum.